Assalamualaikum to Dr. Nusaibah. My name is Nur Farhana binti Muhammad. Okay, we are from Group 9 and we will present about Panasonic Corporation Company. And okay, for the first is the founder. The founder of Panasonic Company is Konosuke Matsushita. In 13 March 1918 in Japan. It is a multinational electronic company and the headquarters at Kadoma, Osaka, Japan since it opened until now. And then at the first, the corporate company corporate name was Matsushita Electric Industrial. However, the founders changed the name to Panasonic Corporation as a global brand name because their product already go to worldwide and especially at the Europe countries. Okay, Panasonic also have the tagline which is Panasonic Ideas for Life. And the product they offered for the customers such as television, home appliance, laptop and others. And in late 20th century, Panasonic became the world's largest consumer electronic maker until now. Okay, next is about risk management governance for Panasonic company. Okay, to prevent or to reduce the risk from worsening, Panasonic already established the global hotline as a mechanism, especially for employees to report if any potential risk regarding matters such as have workplace harassment, compliance violations, and improprieties in procurement process. Okay, also then the Panasonic Corporation also have a 3 level of risk management, which is G&G Risk Management Committee, 7 divisional companies, and several business division. Okay, next all these risks. All this level, the company will make a strategic plan and do it and make a checking to make sure all the risks was well managed by the management. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Will present about the risk framework for the Panasonic. The suitable risk framework for Panasonic is COSO framework. There are 5 elements in COSO framework. The first one is control environment, which the organization need to develop commitment to efficiency and implement integrity elements and ethical value in the organization. Second one is risk assessment, which is to perform analysis whether the risk need to be treated or to be eliminated. And third one is control activities. Control activities where the policies and procedures should the Panasonic follow to ensure the risk response is effective. And the fourth one is information and communications, where the companies communicate with other external parties on issues. And the fifth one, lastly, is monitoring activities. Monitoring activities is where the Panasonic needs to monitor to avoid companies from having decline phase.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I am Fazma Wati binti Osman and I will continue for the next part. So for the next part, we have risk architecture. Risk architecture defined as roles, responsibilities, communication, and the risk reporting structure. Generally, this is how the risk management framework look like. From the first process, which is recognition of risk, and then rating of risk, ranking against risk criteria, and then responding the risk. And the last part is by reviewing and monitoring. As my friend mentioned before, the suitable framework for Panasonic is a COSO framework. In COSO framework, we have control environment, risk assessment, control activities, information and communication, and last part is monitoring activities. So this is how the responsibilities, the roles of each part. For the last part is organization structure. This is how the Panasonic structure look like. From the top line, which is shareholders, and then board of directors, and then down to management committee, which is we have corporate risk committee, capital committee, innovative product assessment committee, operational risk committee, and the last part is finance committee. So we know that who's responsible in risk management, which is corporate risk committee and the operational risk committee.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norin binti Yusri. So I'll continue. The next slide is risk protocol. So the flow chart shows is product accident response in Panasonic company. For the first is product accident occur and serious product accident occur. Then the next stage is investigate measure to respond to the market, and we decide to. And the next stage is decide on recall. Decide on recall is divided between two parties, which is first is consumer affairs agency and president executive product. After we decide on recall, so the last stage is recall the product. Next is risk register. We use 5 likelihood, which is first is rare, second is occasional, third is reasonable frequency, and fourth is frequent, and 5 is very frequent. Every risk have a different likelihood. So for the first is trade barriers protected by host country. The likelihood is 2 and the impact is 2, so the risk register is medium. The class distribution of citizen, the likelihood is 2 and the impact is 1, so the risk rating is low. And for the other companies, the technology process in Panasonic Corporation is for the likelihood is 3 and the impact is 4, so the risk rating is high. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuridaya binti Abdurrani. I will continue for the risk assessment, which is in Panasonic Corporation have 2 risk assessment, which is firstly is compliance risk and secondly is a hazard risk. For the compliance risk, openness is the most critical precondition for effective risk evaluation and management, so that Panasonic Corporation develop anti-bribery and anti-corruption mechanism and enforcement the infrastructure to convey the anti-corruption through the analysis, subsidy and partner organization, and perform risk evaluation by some service provider and distributor. Lastly, COVID-19 pandemic could increase the risk of compliance accident, whether to motivate to wrongdoing or accidental legal infringement. Secondly, for the hazard risk, workplace safety and health management is goal of the Panasonic company, which it is to encourage a health and secure working atmosphere. And then Panasonic established in its rule that a health and welfare of its subcontractor staff who work full-time with the Panasonic promise are carefully considered. And then Panasonic has formed occupational health and a safety council with its contractors. Okay, next, there are 10 lists in the Panasonic Corporation, which is firstly is taxes, trade barriers, gross domestic product, finance, and then customer, technology, environment, product, okay, this is for the risk heat map for 10 lists that have been found in the Panasonic Corporation, which is it has been rated for the likelihood and significant in each every of the risks in the Panasonic Corporation.
Hi, I am Reza Kusna. We will present about the recommendation, risk response and action plan. For the first risk in Panasonic Corporation is the high tech level will demotivate business to increase revenue. For the risk response is a threat. For the action plan is first develop value-added business in the target market. Second is start production on the target market in order to escape importation requirements. The third is be the partner with a target market company manufacturing product. The second risk is trade barriers protected. The risk response is trade. The action plan, Panasonic Corporation choose a different market. Second, do the export process to the other product line. The third is do market delay entry. The fourth, make a collaboration. The third risk is the country GDP growth rate. The risk response is trade. The action plan is Panasonic Corporation can increase their production rates according to market need and wants. The fourth risk is the financial markets. The risk response is tolerate. For the action plans, nothing can do because the rise of capital still a reasonable price as long as it does not exceed the proper price. Next risk is the class distribution. The risk response is trade. The action plan is produce products with affordable pricing by subordinates. Second is for nice marketing. Company must know how to find a nice market and do the industry research and know the ideal customer for the product. The next risk is the other companies copy the technology process. The risk response is trade, and the action plan, the Panasonic Corporation can use the intellectual property to protect their technology process. The seventh risk is pressure and boycott. For the risk response, trade, and the action plan, Panasonic Corporation can conduct awareness campaign on the importance of the environment. Other than that, can create a more friendly work environment to reduce the pressure. The next risk is the product unnecessary. The risk response is trade. The action plan is Panasonic Corporation can create the demand for the product. Second is make some innovation for the product to attract the customer. Alright, the next risk is information hacker. The risk response is trade, and the action plan is Panasonic Corporation can use the intellectual property law and regulation on data security to protect their information. The last risk is loyalty and safety. The risk response is transfer. For the action plans, this risk can transfer to the other party, such as they use the insurance, because insurance is a well-established system that can answer effect of loss resulting from hazard, risk, and control risk. That's all for me. Thank you.
So for the last part, what are the lessons that we have learned from the risk management subject? So obviously, we learned about how important the risk management to organization, to institution, or to company. So even me myself, I don't really know about there is department that specifically for the risk management. So it's kind of a new knowledge for me, and from this subject we go through details about the risk management, how the structure, how the process, what is risk management framework. So talking about the importance of RM, so of course it is a mandatory. The basic objective of RM is to ensure conformity with applicable rules, regulations, and mandatory obligations. Besides, it's help to decision making of the organization. So RM activity should ensure the appropriate risk-based information is available to support decision making, and then it is an effective and efficient core process of RM itself. So RM consideration will assist with achieving effective and efficient strategy, tactics, operations, and compliance to ensure the best outcome with reduced volatility of results. So therefore, it's such a grateful and enjoy journey having and learning this course for the use in the entrepreneurship for the future.